Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week we got quite some crazy figure news, with the craziest one no doubt being the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite Wing Gundam Zero Rebellion. And for those of you who watched my development history on the Wing Zero, or those of you who have played Super Robot Wars DD, will no doubt be familiar with this thing, but for those of you who don't know what this is, it's basically a Wing Zero, but piloted by Lelouch from Code Geass. And for 44,000 yen, 308 US, it can be yours in December, but it is of course a premium Bandai Limited figure. Originally, the only difference between the standard Zero and Lelouch's Zero was the color scheme, but now both the figure and the video game version will be coming with some more elaborate accessories. It has two fancy beam sabers, a pole arm that's based on the Freya Eliminator, and the Super Valid Buster rifle with its own little transformation mechanism, like they can open up to activate their full power. And when a Wing Zero transforms, these new weapons can also be stored neatly onto the figure. It ain't cheap, but it is very impressive. And the same goes for the S.H.Figuarts Char Aznable, another figure that I wasn't really expecting. And unfortunately, what I'm less surprised by is that it's also a premium Bandai Limited figure, so yay. But it is slated for an October release, and for 9,900 yen, 69 US, it does come with some great proportions and a nice array of accessories. We have the expected things like his gun, different hand options, and 5 different facial expressions, being normal, grumpy, shocked, smirking, and betraying Garma, but we're also getting a new type flash accessory, which is definitely an interesting addition. Unfortunately, the helmet does not seem to be removable. And staying with the relatively expensive figures that went up for pre-order on Premium Bandai, we have the FW Gundam Converge RX-78 F00/E, which comes complete with the glass feather equipment and a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum. And this thing can be yours in September for 4,950 yen, 35 US. And to just kind of like put that price into perspective, a set of 10 normal ones will normally set you back around 6,300 yen or 44 US. So it's definitely on the expensive side. Or you can go for the also premium Bandai Limited G-Frame Full Armor RX-78 F00/E Gundam. It's also slated for a September release, and for 6,985 yen, 49 US, you are getting some more accessories. We've got the beam welding gun in stored and deployed state, a removable glass feather backpack with 2 sub-arms in different poses, and an unarmored right arm, right front skirt, and right lower leg, so that you can replicate the real-life counterpart at the Osaka World Expo. Unfortunately, we do not get unarmored parts for the rest, which for this price would have been a nice addition. What we do get though is a soda-flavored piece of chewing gum. For something that isn't premium Bandai then, we go to your dreams. And also the 10th volume of Mobility Joint Gundam. Going for 715 yen a set, 5 US, you can get the Double Zeta Gundam Core Top, the Double Zeta Gundam Core Bottom, which can then be combined into the normal Double Zeta Gundam in mobile suit mode, the Double Zeta Gundam X parts to turn it into the full armor Double Zeta Gundam, the Q-Blade X parts, which have a little action base for the Q-Blade, and 10 bits with an effect part that can also be connected to the action base. There's the Rig Diaz Quattro colors, the Rig Diaz Standard colors, and the Rig Diaz X parts, which come with 2 clay bazookas and parts to turn the Rig Diaz into the Shuzram Diaz. And all of these will be coming your way in September. Next up, we got images for the painted prototypes for the Lookup series Machu and Nyaan. They also announced that they'll go up for pre-order in early May, but other details like their price or their release date will be announced at a later date. Limited to China then is this Rising Freedom Gundam head from the Bandai Namco Head Collection line. It is about the size of your own head, comes packed with details, the eyes, main camera and rear camera light up, and for 1,299 yuan, 178 US, it can be yours in September. And on the Gunpla front, we unfortunately continue the trend of limited stuff. They might not be premium Bandai limited, but they are limited to the Gundam base, and they are all releasing on April the 26th. First up, we have the Master Grade Epyon Endless Waltz version, cross contrast colors clear white for 6,600 yen, 46 US, and the Master Grade Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version, cross contrast colors clear purple for 7,150 yen, 50 US. And the story behind both of these is pretty much the same. They're simple recolors of their original base kits, but with the added coolness of having some clear parts, some shiny parts, and some cool new stickers. They first released as China exclusives, were then made available at certain events outside of China, and they're now available through the Gundam base. Next up, for 1,650 yen, 12 US, we are getting another really cool recolor. This time of the old 1/550th scale Alpha Azieru from 1988, and I absolutely love this. The plastic and the stickers are now metallic-y, and it really gives some extra flair to this old kit. Like, I wouldn't mind it at all if they did this kind of thing to more old kits. Like, just re-release them as limited kits with shiny colors. That's the kind of limited and premium Bandai kit that I can totally get behind. This little set is currently only releasing at Gundam Side F, but it will be made available at Gundam bases at a later date. And the same goes for these Gundam decals that were announced alongside of it. There's a slide for the Real Grade RX-93FF New Gundam for 1,320 yen, 9 US, and a slide for the MSN-04FF Sazabi for 990 yen, 7 US. And if you then need something to snack on while building these kits, in August, we are getting GQUX card wafers. One package will set you back 165 yen, $1, and contains a vanilla cream flavored wafer with one shiny metallic card. There's 28 to collect, 3 of which are secret. And staying with the GQUX news, pre-orders for the deluxe pamphlet that was previously only available at theaters have begun at the Aeon store and the Sunrise store. And from May the 24th until August the 11th, a special GQUX beginning exhibition will be held at the Anime Tokyo Station. Entrance is free, and displays will include things like screenshots from the anime, character and mobile suit standees, photo spots, scripts and other things related to the production of the anime, and a corner for taking AR pictures with characters from the series. And on the 18th, the official GQUX shop opened up in Akihabara, where various GQUX related goods will be sold until May the 18th. And if you buy over 5,000 yen worth of stuff, around 35 US, you'll also get this GQUX plastic shopping bag. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, we got some more surprising news. Gundam Wing will be having a collaboration with Overwatch 2, and the reception so far has been varied. From official sources, we only have this vague trailer showing us a silhouette of Mercy dressed up as the Wing Zero custom and the release date of April the 29th, with a like to dislike ratio that is very positive. But we also have a leak of what some of the collaboration skills will supposedly look like. Now, because these are leaks, you should take them with a grain of salt, but the leaker is Naeri, who is supposedly a very reliable source when it comes to stuff like this. And, well, these skins are... we have Soldier 76 as the Tall Geese, Mercy as the Wing Zero Custom, Ramatra as the Epyon, and Reaper as the Dead Scythe. So... the first obvious question is, where are Diva, Bastion, Echo, or Farah? Like, Farah would have made a significantly better Wing Zero custom than Mercy, but of course, Mercy is notorious for not having enough skins, so I guess they just had to give her this one. And for Ramatra, it probably would have been better if they'd gone with the one Gundam from Gundam Wing that has 4 arms by default, the Altron. But yeah, I don't know if it's because I don't play Overwatch or if it's something else, but this art is really not doing it for me. And then the second big piece of gaming news is that we got the release date for Super Robot Wars Y, which is August the 28th, and we also got the full list of series that will be represented. For Gundam, we already knew about G Gundam and the first season of Witch from Mercury, but we're also getting Zeta Gundam, Char's Counterattack, MMSV, Endless Waltz, and Gundam Seed Destiny. And other than Gundam, I'm also very much looking forward to seeing Godzilla's singular point in Super Robot Wars, as well as Elgheim and of course Code Geass, because I wonder if we're getting that special Wing Zero from DD in Y as well. And if you want to check out the full list of series participating in Super Robot Wars Y, I will have the second promotional video linked down below. In Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation, then, the Red Gundam has joined the fray, while on Steam the full armor Oberon has become available. In the global version of UC Engage, a new Battle Rush event has gone live, as well as a new event unit assembly for the UR Palace Athene and the UR Requilond. The Metaverse has opened up again, and I can't wait to make some time to jump in again, and as the Gundam G Generation Eternal seems to be off to a flying start. They reached #1 in sales, they got over 2 million downloads, and the Fierce Enemy Assault event for the Red Gundam 0085 has gone live. Plus, they announced that on the 30th, Gundam Seed Recollection will be added to the main stages. And just today, the second season of Arsenal-based 4 Squad has gone live, giving us some new cards from G Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans, Gundam Seed, and GQUX. There's 80 new cards to collect, with the flagship ones being the Burning Gundam / God Gundam and Domon Kashu, the Barb Swoops Rex and Mika, the Freedom and Kira, and the GQUX Omega Psychomu and Machu. In other news then, an RX-78-2 and Gelgoog manhole have been installed in Komodo, Gundam goes to space in real life, and the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building will be turned into quite the eye-catching spectacle with Gundam. So, as part of the Gundam Open Innovation Program, the Team Spacelife has developed an environmental sensor that was sent to the International Space Station to be installed into the Japanese Kibo experimental module on board of the station. The doohickey has been painted in Gundam-inspired colors, and its mission is to gather information about the air quality on board of the station. This data can then be used for improving that air quality, and they also hope that it will lead to more advanced models, which could then lead to large spaceships and even colonies being possible in the future. Every evening then, from April the 26th until an as of yet undetermined date, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building will be the centerpiece of the Tokyo Projection Mapping, Tokyo Night and Light Spectacle. And as part of this spectacle, an animated short will be projected onto the building, featuring various Gundams in different colors and a story about an alternate future where they're all working together to expand humanity into space. As for things you could get this week then, we began the week with a lot of gachapon and other chance-related items. First up, for 400 yen a spin, 3 US, you could gacha for a clear rubber coaster featuring one of 3 RX-78-2 designs, the Jim, the standard Zaku 2, the Dom, the Gelgoog, or the Zeong. Then for also 400 yen a spin, there was the GQUX Acrylic Stand Gacha, featuring the GQUX main characters or the main mobile suits. Slightly more expensive at 500 yen a spin then, for US, there was the Fukuoka Lalaport Limited Mobile Suit Ensemble version Fukuoka. You can either get the statue version of the new Gundam, the giant fin funnel, the statue version of the Sazabi, the giant lobster funnels, or an accessory pack with a little bit of both. For the new Gundam, there's a shield and a beam rifle, while for the Sazabi, there's a shield, beam rifle, and beam tomahawk. But if you can't make it all the way to Fukuoka's Lollaport Shopping Mall, they will also be available at other Bandai Namco amusement centers at a later date as well. And if all of that gachaponing made you hungry, then you could also get the third volume of Niformation Cocoa flavored wafers, featuring Unicorn, Gundam Wing, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. They go for 143 yen a pop, $1, and there are 38 to collect, with 3 being secret stickers. Or if you needed something to listen to, then on the 22nd, you could try to get this Force Impulse Spec.II head-shaped speaker from Japanese arcades. At first glance, it just looks like a normal Impulse head, but when you open up the cheeks, the speakers are revealed. Overall, the thing does look quite nice, but I just can't unsee that giant seam line running right through the middle of the mohawk. One day later then, we got a US limited figure, which is limited to Target. And yet, on the official Tamashii Nation's website, they have the price of the figure listed in yen, but with like an asterisk saying that this price is only intended to serve as a point of reference. So for 3,300 American yen, you can get the Gundam Universe Char Zaku 2 in the colors of the origin, with the main difference being that the red seems to be slightly less pink, and that it now has markings on the chest and the shoulder shield. As for the accessories, it comes with a Heat Hawk, Zaku machine gun, optional hands, and parts to connect it to a Tamashii action base. Next up in late April then, we got some more figures. For 4,950 yen, 35 US, you could go big or go home with these Mega Cat Project Mobile Suit Nyaan Big Nyaan Tomos. You can go for either the Gundam Cat or the Char Zaku 2 Cat, and they both come with a cardboard box to put them in. And I also love how the Char Zaku 2 Cat is winking to simulate the Zaku Mono Eye. Or for 3,323 US, you could get the first Gundam Military Generation collection figures, being Amuro, Char, Romaral, and Sayla. These aren't new figures, but they're instead budget re-releases of previously released Gundam Military Generation figures. I'm still not a huge fan of how they look, but I will applaud them for cutting the right corners here to make them cheaper. The original releases came with a lot of extras and even sometimes kinda pointless accessories, but now they only come with the bare minimum, like a few extra hands and a single gun, with then also a removable helmet for Sayla, and a Haro and the Operation V manual for Amuro. Like, you don't really need that much more for these figures. As for the packaging, it now resembles the simpler packaging of retro action figures, which is not just cheaper, but it's also incredibly charming. And finally today, this life-size new Gundam statue metal stand has become available as a prize item in Namco arcades across Japan, and we got the option part set Gunpla 16 Meteor Hopper for 880 yen 6 US, which is of course identical to the previously released high-grade build custom Meteor Hopper, but just with a different box and a slightly different name. For this week's reading material then, there was the June issue of Hobby Japan featuring the high-grade Psycho Gundam Mark II, the June issue of Model Graphics featuring the master-grade narrative Phoenix and Sinanju Stein, the May issue of Grand Jump Mucha, in which Gundam Rust Horizon is being serialized, and the English ebook version of Gundam Forward's Gundam 45th Anniversary issue has become available on Amazon US, UK, Canada, Germany, France, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands. For the apparel news then, SHFiguarts kicked things off on the 18th with pre-orders for this Endless Waltz foldable fan featuring the Wing Zero Custom. It'll be hitting physical SHFiguarts stores on the 26th and even has a carabiner clip to hook it up to your belt or your backpack. How can you call yourself a true Gundam Wing fan without this fan? And on the same day, pre-orders also went live for this Char's Counterattack Amuro-inspired shopping bag. It can be folded up with the included strap, and for 2,750 yen, 19 US, it can be yours in either black or blue. And it'll be available in physical Strict G stores on May the 1st. Bunkode, meanwhile, had some pre-orders that were all about GQUX, or GQUX influence things, because slated for a June release is this Bra Bro t-shirt in either black or white. They go for 4,400 yen each, 31 US, and clearly, the reason that we're getting a Bra Bro t-shirt is because of Shalia Bull and the Kikuroga in GQUX. And then slated for a July release is Shalia's tie for 4,950 yen, 35 US. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. In the latest episode of GQUX, we got a cameo from Cameron Bloom. So I figured, why not make a poll about which other character from the OG Gundam that we also want to see making a cameo in GQUX. And to make things even more interesting, I went with characters who died in the original, who now might still be alive in GQUX. We have the Black Tri-Stars, Rombaral, Lala, and Slegger. For the Black Tri-Stars, it would be cool seeing them pulling off their iconic Jetstream attack. For Romba, I just want to see him living happily with Hammond. Slegger could pull off some cool stuff with the light cannon. And for Lala, well, I'm sure that we all just want to see her getting the happy ending that she deserves. So if you want to cast your vote, I will have the link down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam News. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam News.